Hi and welcome to my May review for Sagittarius. We start the month on the 1st with a fantastic aspect, a conjunction between Venus and your ruler Jupiter. So this is a great day to plan a social event for. This is a Sunday, so you can have family round, spend time with the people you love. It's also a very fortunate aspect, this one. It can be good for all kinds of things, but particularly finances and also for the artistic and creative side of things. We also have Pluto retrograde at the start of the month. Now Pluto's in your second house. This is the house of values, of material items and of finances as well. And while Pluto is retrograde, you can still work with the energy. In fact, it's very important to work with these retrograde planets. Now you've got until October the 8th till Pluto will turn direct. And being in that second house, it's time to gain insights into your value system and maybe transform your value system in some way so that you can help yourself evolve and grow. The other thing is to check that you don't have any behaviour patterns that become compulsive regarding spending or buying material things. And if you have, then you need to work on these. Pluto will give you great insight, so you've got plenty of time, 5 months to work with this, so that's fantastic. And on the 4th, Sun makes a conjunction with Uranus. This is in your 6th house, the house of your work or your daily routines. And it may be with this aspect that you need to have a break, or you need to inject some life into your daily routines. They may become a little bit staid and a little bit boring, so you need to inject some life into them. Now if you're in tune with yourself, this can be a great day for new ideas and see things in a different light, but if you're not in tune with yourself, then there could be sudden changes to your schedules and upsets. Now the other aspect is from Mars to the Sun, so this will give you the impetus to make those changes and to bring in new and exciting things into your daily routines. Also on the 4th we have another conjunction. This time it's between Vesta, the asteroid, and Saturn. Now these two are in your 3rd house. This is the house of the mind and the intellect. Vesta is about our internal flame that burns within. This is a good time now to honour your internal flame and to do what it is that it asks of you. Maybe it wants to learn something new, or to communicate in a different way, so that you're communicating from your heart rather than just from your head. But these are things that will be helped by Saturn, because Saturn will give you the persistence and the conviction and the structure to put new things into place. And this lasts for 6 days, so there's time to work with this one. Then also on the 4th we have one other aspect, and this is a square between Venus and the Black Moon Lilith. The Black Moon is in the 8th house of shared finances, and Venus is in the area of the home. So there may be some issues that come up on this day regarding the home and finances, which you need to nip in the bud and talk about and work on immediately. Venus is now in Aries and your 5th house, and makes a positive aspect to Mercury on the 5th in the 7th house. It's a great day for socialising, having some fun with friends or family, and to do something on the creative side, or take in some culture and art. Mercury's slowing down, and on the 10th we'll go retrograde. Now again, while the planet's retrograde, it's a great time to work with the energies. They go inward, so you can really get to grips with what they're trying to teach you. Now Mercury in the 7th retrograde, it's about relationships, and it's about being sincere within relationships. It's about not taking people for granted. Appreciate people for what they bring to the relationship. And also it's a good time to work on those small things. It's the small things that can make a big difference. And if you can repair damage on small items, it will make relationships run better. And don't forget, good fences make good neighbours. So it's a great time to work for the next 3 weeks while Mercury's retrograde on any relationship issues. On the 12th we have another conjunction. This time it's the Sun making a conjunction with the Moon's North Node. Now the Moon's North Node is our spiritual way forward, and it's very much fated and connected with destiny. So there's going to be changes coming along with this aspect. Could be doors opening, but also it's a great time to show off your talents and just show people what you can do. This is in your 6th house of work. It's also your daily routines, diet, health, exercise, so you can really shine in these areas now. Now there's another aspect on the 14th to the Sun, and this is from Mars, so this will bring an influx of Martian energy. This will give you impotence to make the changes necessary of all the discoveries that you've made in that conjunction with the Sun and the North Node. Make sure you are quite autonomous. Don't rely on other people at this point, because you're going to have to go this alone. And there may be a time when you're going to have to make some changes and some difficult decisions which are not always easy to make, but they have to be made, and you have to keep moving forward. The Sun has two other aspects on the 15th which may give a twinge of guilt, because you've been putting a lot of time and energy into yourself, your routines and your work. And maybe just today, because there's a square to Saturn and a positive aspect from Neptune, maybe just a twinge of guilt. So it'd be a good day to spend with others and maybe help other people. And this will make you feel a bit better about all the time and effort you've been putting into your own stuff. The other aspect on this day is between Venus and Chiron. Chiron and Venus are in the 5th house. This is the house of love affairs. So there may be something in the past that comes back, maybe a past love, or maybe some feelings that have stemmed from a past relationship that's resurfaced. And it's a good time to deal with those and put those to rest. On the 16th we have full moon. Now the full moon's in Scorpio, but that means it's in your 12th house. So it's going to be a difficult full moon for you, because it's emotionally very powerful and very deep and very intense. But the 12th house means that you probably want to spend some time alone. This is a full moon for reflection, for taking stock of where you are, and there may be a time here when you need to make some difficult decisions. The full moon in Scorpio is about letting go of that which is no longer of use. So there may be things in your life that you're maybe hanging on to that you really need to let go of now. This full moon could help you do that. Now this is also a total lunar eclipse, so there's another aspect to this full moon. This eclipse belongs to the Sagittarius 6 North series, which was the same as the one in April, but now it's in the 12th house, and it's about responsibilities. And there may be responsibilities that are playing on your mind, or there may be something that comes up that you are offered to take on a different role where more responsibility were needed, or it may be time that you really need to take control of your life and your feelings, and maybe it's time, like we said, to get rid of those things that causes you to not feel as good and as happy as you should. You may have a day on the 17th where you can't explain how you feel. It could be one of those days where you just feel out of sorts. We have Mars making a conjunction with Neptune. And Mars is the planet of ego. It's forceful, it's warlike, has loads of physical energy, but Neptune is completely the opposite. Neptune can dissolve the ego. So maybe that you really feel like you're in suspension, almost like you're maybe in either slow motion or freeze frame, where you're not functioning as you would normally. And don't worry, it's only going to last a day or so, and then things will soon get back to normal. So on the 18th we have an aspect between the Sun and Pluto. Now this will bring intense energy and feelings. And remember, Pluto in that retrograde motion, the Sun can help you make that transformation now. The things that you maybe have been thinking about with the retrograde motion, now you can start to put them into practice. This is certainly a month when you can do a lot of inner work and a lot of transformation. On the 19th we have Mercury having an aspect from Jupiter. Now this is a time when you can revise your plan. You can look at all the things that we talked about with Mercury retrograde and see where you can gain some insight and direct some power maybe in a different area to achieve what you need to achieve. On the 21st, the Sun moves into Gemini and makes a conjunction with Mercury. And again, this is a time when you can look at your talents, look at your resources and see, am I making the most? And then if you're in a relationship of some kind or a partnership, then you need to see what you can give to the partnership. It may be a business partnership, it may be a marriage partnership, but either way, you need to look at your contribution. What resources can you bring to the table? What talents can you develop to improve the relationship going forward? Two positive sextiles on the 22nd. The first is between the Sun and Jupiter. Now the Sun in the 7th and Jupiter in the 5th means this is an ideal time for a love affair to start. Also, it's a time to be bold and creative. This aspect's just about good for anything at all, and it's good for risk taking as well, but make sure it's a calculated risk and it's a good day for buying a lotto ticket. Then also, the other one is between Mars and Pluto. This is slightly different. This is a very powerful sextile, and this is in the 4th and 2nd house. So it's a good time to look at the finances around the home and do anything you can to promote good budgeting and making sure that you know exactly where all the pennies are going. On the 23rd, we have a potentially difficult conjunction for you to deal with, because we have Ceres, the asteroid, who's related to nurturing and is the eternal mother, having a conjunction with the Black Moon Lilith. Now the Black Moon Lilith is the other side to the same coin. The Black Moon Lilith is the original sinner. She represents the promiscuous side of sexuality. And with these two being in the 8th house and in Cancer, they both have positive reinforcement here. Because Cancer's the sign of nurturing, this will bolster the Ceres side of nurturing. But then the 8th house is the Scorpio house and the house of sex, so this will bolster the side of the Black Moon. So these two will really be up against each other. There may be some friction, so it could pan out either way, but that's up to you and how your feelings run. Now there could be an absolute urge to nurture someone and to look after someone. This could bring out the best in you, or on the other side of the coin, it could bring out the worst with the original sin side and the sexual side of the Black Moon Lilith. There could be things happening here that you maybe will regret later on, but it's up to you to get the balance. If you can, it's good to integrate the two. But another scenario is that it triggers things from the past. There may be feelings from the past that are related to one of these that come up now and surface, and again you may have to deal with these. On the 24th, Venus makes a positive aspect to Saturn. Now, this is always a good time to talk about things within relationships, especially responsibilities and duties and where this lies. That's not just love relationships, this is all kind of relationships, business, work. It's great to talk and get things out in the open so people know exactly what is expected of them. Then another aspect on the 26th involves Venus. This time it's to Pluto. So here we have intense feelings, very, very deep, intense feelings. And these need to be worked with as well. Remember, Pluto is retrograde, so we can be working, using this Venus energy. What do you get that compulsive feeling for? What do you desire most of all? Because Venus will help you to point that out, and maybe you can make adjustments in your behaviour. Make that little transformation now that will help you going forward. Another very fortunate and positive aspect on the 28th as Mars makes a conjunction with Jupiter. This is all happening in your 5th house. This is the house of creativity. So this is a fantastic time. Any creative project you've got going, you can put physical energy in now and it will be sure to succeed. This is a time when you can take risks again, but make sure they're calculated. Don't overdo things. And as well, the 5th house is also about socialising. So this is a time when you can really go to town, have that big party that you wanted and be the life and soul of it. Now on the 30th we have another aspect with Mars involved with the Black Moon Lilith. So this is a time when your sexual desires will be very strong and very healthy, and also it's a time when you may run into complications if you're not careful. Don't be lulled into something, don't be drawn in something that maybe you will regret later. To end the month we have a new moon. The new moon's in your opposite sign of Gemini, and obviously this is your 7th house. So we've already discussed the fact that Mercury's in the 7th house and retrograde. So again, this is another opportunity to work with that retrograde Mercury and use the energy positively. So yes, talk, communicate with others. This is great for partnerships, this is good for business enterprises as well, and it's very good to start new things, to bring out new ideas, and cooperation, negotiation is highlighted as well. And over the next 2 weeks you've got to realise that you are best advancing with the help of others. If you try and do it your own now, then you will be up against it. The time has passed for that individuality which we spoke about earlier. Now it's time to join forces and get the best out of a relationship. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the May review. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you.